Today, I'm going to be electrocuting people and telling the story of the second time I ever hit that zaza. Right? Look at that good good. Um, yeah, so the first time I ever hit that zaza was... It's not an interesting story, I'll say that much. It was a very relaxing experience, okay? Nothing... There wasn't any, like, turn of events or, like, anything really interesting. So I'm going to be talking about the second time. Okay. So this was a couple of years ago, and it's a warm Australian night. Okay, Australian afternoon. Um, you know, I'm hanging out with some people after. Was it? No, it was a weekday. No, it was a weekend. It was a weekend. Right. It's the evening. We're up on this cliff, kind of this rock face, I guess. That kind of overlooks like a kind of like a valley, not like a big valley, but like a suburban valley, if that makes sense. And my mate who lived in this area, he was quite the he was an avid user of that ganja, and he brought this. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me hit the skip real quick. That was pretty nice. Okay, the hard part is not dying right here. I have miracles, so this might cause a bit of an issue. Hold on. Hold that thought. Shit. Let's see if I can actually kill him with the miracle. Please! Fuck! I knew this would be difficult, these dogs. Oh, wait, I can just mace them. Okay. But yeah, we're up on this cliff face, right? He pulls this joint out of his pocket. This thing he rolled. And he starts explaining it to me. And he's like... using all these terms, this... I don't really know what the fuck he's on about. He's saying some shit like... So oh shit. How many dogs are there? Well, that yapping lost my focus. Might actually die here. Shit. Okay. So he pulls this thing out, and he's explaining how he, like, crafted it. He's like, I poured in, I added in the substance, and I rolled it around, and I added this infused oil to it, so it, like, solidified, and then I put it in the microwave, so it's, like, hardened. I don't know. He had some crazy procedure on this shit. And I'm just thinking, like, this is my second time. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So, eventually, other people pull up. We spark it up, and everything's going fine, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying the view over the cliff. Things are going well. And, I have a good chat with everyone there. It's been like an hour or so, and then, oh, I don't know how long. And then everyone's like, okay, time to wrap it up. It's getting late. So I start making my way to the nearest bus stop so I can catch a bus home. And I'm walking there with this mate of mine. I'm not friends with him anymore, and I'll get into that later. But me and him, we make it to the bus stop, and across the street, I see these two people walking towards us, right? They're crossing the street. And I'm looking closely, and I'm like, they look really familiar. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Their body, like, archetype looks so familiar. And they start to get closer, and I realize they're two people from my year group at school. And I'm thinking to myself, and I see who they are, and they're an interesting pair. That's all I'll say. I don't really know how to explain it, but basically at the time, one of these two guys was like an outcast. Yeah, he was like an outcast because he basically assaulted another girl in our year. Like, I don't know how long ago it would have been from that point, but it was pretty recent that this happened, and everyone was like, just like, no, not friends with him anymore. He was like an outcast, except the guy that was with him. we'll call him. I'm not giving any of these people names, but oh shit! No, 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 no! Oh my fuck! Oh, bro, I was doing so good at just yapping and playing there. Anyway, so these two guys pull up, right? The guy who's with him, who hasn't outcasted him, because he is also okay. I'll just say both these guys, they were a bit fucked. Okay, that's like we were on good terms, but they were just a bit fucked. Okay, I'll say that much. And you know, they walk over to us and they're like, "What's up?" And okay, I can't say his name. The guy who's not the outcast, who's less of an outcast, but friends with the outcast, he like says hi to me first, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell? It's you and it's this guy and this guy, like me and the guy I was with." And he notices instantly that I'm like just geeked. Like he can just tell. I think that shit like hit me pretty hard, probably because it was my second time ever. And yeah, he starts like laughing, and then the outcast as well. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know you smoked," and I was like, not really. This is more of like a one-off thing." And like, nah, I bet they start like saying weird shit. I don't know, like they nothing mean or anything, but what ends up happening is they sit down on like the bus stop. There's like a bench. They both sit down, and the guy I was originally with, I think he kind of realized what was going on, and he kind of set me up for this in a way. He backs up and he takes a photo. It's like me just sitting on the bench, like I look distraught. And the two outcast guys just with their arms on my shoulder. It's quite the image. Like I look like I can't even explain it. My eyes are like red. I'm just like slouching in this bench, and they both have their arms over me. It was like the weirdest image. Like it looks like they're holding me hostage almost. And then the next morning, I look on my mate's story at the time, and I think that the two guys as well, they all posted this image to their story, and I was like, just sitting there with like the most bloodshot red eyes, and they had their oh, unplugged my controller. And they had their arms around me, and it was just it was such a like weird experience for like my second time. And the next day, I go to school, and all my friends are just like, "What the fuck was that image? Like, what the hell? Why were you with those two guys?" And I had to explain, like, bro, we just went to like the bus stop, and they were just there, and then they just started holding me. I don't know. It was weird. Not holding me. I don't know why I used that choice of words. Anyway, I think using my miracles in this boss fight is not going to be easy. So, oh my god, bro. I didn't even get like a chance to think, bro. I just rolled once and I was dead. Okay, lock in. But yeah, all my friends are just like, what is that image? I don't have the image to this day. I really want to try and find it. But the thing is, I'm not friends with that guy anymore. Because he is also a woman abuser. Isn't that crazy? All three of the people in that experience, except me, turned out to be like bad human beings. Kind of weird to think about. But yeah. I'm not friends with any of them anymore. So I don't know how I'm gonna get that photo. Maybe some of my friends like the next day, maybe they took a screenshot of it or something. I gotta try and retrieve that image because it is hilarious, and that's like heritage, man. I gotta like have that shit for the rest of my life just to look back on. Because it wasn't a bad experience. I think it was just a bizarre. It was so bizarre. Like, and you know, I was a little bit worried for a second. I was like, are people gonna think that I'm like with this guy who's like a woman abuser? Are people gonna think that I'm like supporting him in this? Like, hell no. And I was so stoned. I didn't know I didn't know how to act. I just like let it happen. You know, I'm an unconfrontational type of person. You know, I'm not gonna start unnecessary shit. You know what I mean? Oh, my souls aren't even in the arena. Okay. This time, I'm not gonna panic roll. Yeah, see, it's because I panic rolled last time. I had to kill the dog. Kill, kill, kill. Come on. Let's eat. Okay. Come up. Hit me once. Nice. Wait, I can get a plunge attack on him. Yes. Holy shit. This does good damage. Oh my god, yes. What? My character didn't dodge. I clicked the dodge button, nothing happened. Go, go, go. Quick, 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 quick. Just hit him, just hit him. Yes! Gets in! But yeah, anyway. That is the story of the second time I ever hit that zaza. Drop a subscription if you're liking the content.